I alone am the goomed one. But I just mean I'm a Naruto. And today we got 5 Kage versus Kaido. It's not close. So already, I said this is beyond cap. And I'm no glaze this entire video, no yapping, whatever. We're getting straight to the point. I want to see what to say. This video is by, I think it's El Blanco. Let me see, I'm kind of blind, so I gotta, El Elon. Alright, so I got added this video multiple times in Discord. I'll say, hey, Malik, watch this video. Because people know that I defend Naruto to his very best. Like, I'll get them. But yeah, anyways, let's check it out. See what I gotta say.
I've been watching power scaling content for years, and I thought it would be fun to talk about a versus battle from two of my favorite series, Naruto and One Piece. Today,
where's Attack on Titan at? Naruto and Attack. Actually, I'll let it slide. Okay, let's watch.
We're talking about the 5 Kage versus Kaido the Beast. For the sake of simplicity, the fight will take place in the same battlefield where the Kage fought Madara. Chakra and Haki will not be equalized, and the Kage will be in perfect health. Now, to start off with the 5 Kage, which honestly need no introduction.
So if it's not equalized, Naruto, the Kage slam. I mean, like, if it was equalized, it would be in their favor. It would be in Kaido's favor if it was equalized. But since it's not, he's cooked. What's he do against Chakra? Nothing.
They are 5 of the most powerful shinobi on the allied shinobi alliance's side. Tsunade, Ei, Onoki, Gaara, and Mei have wildly different approaches to combat, and for what it's worth, had great synergy and teamwork when it came to their first battle against Madara. Tsunade, Ei, and Onoki are the heavy hitters of the group. Tsunade is by far considered the strongest member of the 5 Kage, at least in terms of striking power, being complemented by Madara Uchiha. Her strength of 100 healings jutsu gives her body nigh immortality by constantly regenerating any damage and wounds she may suffer unless it's extremely serious. The Raikage Ei, who is second in strength only to Tsunade.
El Blanco, you have JJK theme song in the background. I don't know, I think it's from ever, I don't know, but I remember that one for sure. JJK background music, that's fire.
But boasts one of the highest speeds in the shinobi world. Stated to be nearly light speed when performing the double lariat with his brother B, and can outrun KCM Naruto with his lightning armor, increasing his neurotransmitter speed and granting him immense defenses. Onoki, the Tsuchikage, has...
Okay, this is directed to One Piece fans. And a lot of you One Piece fans say, oh, A is a light speed. Bro, he literally just said it. Like, that's literally proof that he's light speed. Like, bro, what can I tell you? Like, it's not just Naruto and Sasuke that's light speed. There's other characters in the show that's light speed. If they can compare to the Raikage at light speed. For example, some people are saying that Minato isn't fast as teleport. No, bro. Minato is definitely a light speed character. If you don't think, like, yeah, that's just crazy to me. That's what I say.
And granting him immense defenses. Onoki, the Tsuchikage, has access to particle style, a Keke Tota, that creates 3D shapes with spheres in the center that can disintegrate any target it comes in contact with.
That is true. Wait, okay. Last time I paused, it hasn't been 2 minutes yet. If they seal if they seal Kaido, trap him, particle style, he's dead. He's getting one-tapped. There is no way he can protect himself from a particle style, especially if it's not verse equalized. If it was verse equalized, he probably could because of armament or whatever. But since it's not, there's no way it's happening. Not possible.
At a molecular level, he can utilize Earth Style to either increase or decrease the user's or allies' mass through the super weighted boulder jutsu and the super lightweight boulder jutsu, and can create large stone golems and constructs. Gaara, the Kazekage, has the ability to manipulate sand. His sand autonomously moves to protect him. He can use this sand to create platforms for himself and the other Kage to fly. Use sealing jutsu.
I'm repping a Naruto shirt. I just got the hot, steamy shower, fresh out the Goon Cave. And, you know, look at this. Now, this is a peak shirt. Now, if I was sponsored, I'd be like, now this is a promo. But it's not. So, I mean, my leg. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
Create large sand formations for both offensive and defensive purposes, like the Sand Tsunami, Sand Armor, Sand Coffin, and Sand Clones. He can also use the sand to absorb an extreme amount of force and can even wrap it around his opponents to reposition him. The Mizukage Mei is the last of the Kage.
Main thing. He can use his sand to, like, if his sand gets inside your skin, he can paralyze you as well. He does to Madara. Yeah.
born with two specific Kekkei
His ceiling
Genkai,
is really
Lava
strong.
Release and Boiled Release. She has a decent amount of versatility when it comes to ranged jutsu. Her water style jutsu is powerful enough to clash with Madara's majestic Destroyer Flame, a fire style jutsu that was so strong it took multiple shinobi combining their water walls to extinguish it. She was also capable of melting Sasuke's Susanoo Ribcage with her Boiled Release Acidic Mist, and her lava style can melt almost anything in its path. Now, I have already gone over Kaido in my first video, so there will be a box that you can click to get some more extensive information on him. But as far as power scaling goes, he is an absolute monster.
He is.
As an Emperor of the Sea, he boasts extremely powerful haki relative to the large majority of the verse. He is a master of all three forms of haki, including their advanced variants, which means he has access to Future Sight, durability bypass, and can coat his attacks with Conqueror's haki for even more devastating power. His mythical Zoan Fish Fruit model Azure Dragon grants him dragon scales that drastically...
I never understood that. How is it a fish fruit? He's a whole dragon. It should be the, you know, the dragon fruit. You know what I mean? But, anyways.
Increases durability almost to the point where conventional attacks do absolutely nothing. With the ability to fire his Blast Breath, which can easily wipe out a castle and mountaintop. He can even create flame clouds to lift massive objects like Onigashima. His physical strength and speed also increased drastically, and even while in dragon form, his speed doesn't seem to slow down whatsoever relative to his massive size. He also gains access to a hybrid form that has most of the benefits of his dragon.
Dude, Kaido looks so sick. He's easily like the best like villain in One Piece. Like, it's not even close. Like, looks wise, power wise. Come on now. Like, if I was in One Piece, I'd be like, as a, you know what? I'm not even gonna take it there.
Form while maintaining the relatively smaller size of his base form. One more thing I want to go over before I move on to the fight is the combatant's stamina. The 5 Kage versus Madara fight seems to go on for at least a couple of hours, seeing as when they started their battle against Madara, the sun was still out, and by the time Madara activates the perfect Susanoo for the first time, the sky is already pitch black. Onoki, Gaara, and Mei were also out on the battlefield prior to this fight. He specifically had suffered serious injuries from Madara's Tengai Shinsei. Tsunade and the other Kage were pretty worn down since they were throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at Madara. As for
Okay, Mr. I almost say E. coli. I forgot his name. E. Eckel, something like that. The kitchen sink is crazy. That's insane.
Kaido, the Onigashima raid seemed to last a couple of hours, if not an entire night. From the moment the raid started, it seemed like it had already been a few hours into the night, and around the time Luffy had defeated Kaido, the sun still hadn't come out. Kaido did show signs of fatigue throughout his multiple fights, but he never really slowed down until Luffy fought him in Gear 5th, and even then, it was more or less the accumulated damage from that fight that made him momentarily drop to one knee. I personally believe that the most important aspect of a versus battle is the win condition. If you don't have one, then there really isn't any point to have.
Wait, what's a win condition? Like a win? A win con. Okay, I always thought a win con, win condition. Okay, so the main win condition for the 5 Kage is that they can trap or seal Kaido in the particle style. The particle style, I'm not gonna lie, it's like the main win con against Kaido, or to like seal him. But I don't think they can like seal him and keep him contained. That's the thing. Because if Madara can break out, then Kaido definitely can. So yeah, well, when it comes to Kaido's win cons, his only win con is just to beat him to death. Go unga bunga, or I mean, like, just whip out his big old hammer and just slam them all with him, or all of them with it. That's just about it. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
The 5 Kage, as far as I can tell, only have particle style as a win con.
Yeah,
since it should be able to atomize Kaido regardless of his durability. Gaara does have a potential win condition in sealing Kaido with his sand mausoleum, but Madara was capable of busting out with brute force through his full body Susanoo. Kaido
You're gonna be an amazing YouTuber. You're gonna get big, just like Kaido. Bro, them abs are crazy.
Should be strong enough to replicate this feat, at least in hybrid form, but if you think that it was a matter of size rather than strength, his dragon form should be more than enough to bust out completely.
Yeah, facts.
Kaido's win condition, on the
Great
other
minds
hand,
think
is
less, I'm gonna
just
say.
going as unga bunga as possible on the 5 Kage and
Are we siblings? Do I know you? That's what I just said. I just said unga bunga. I'm happy. Maybe we're like the same person. Maybe we're doppelgangers. Maybe we're the same person. No, different people, same soul and spirit. Or, you know, I have the soul, you have the spirit, or vice versa. Or we're just, you know, the same person, but different race. Hey, you never know.
bonking them
That's
as
sick.
hard as he can, since he doesn't really rely on anything other than brute force and his flame attacks. If I'm going to be honest, I don't think the 5 Kage will be able to meet their win condition for a couple of reasons, unless one develops a very hyper-specific scenario where they hold him down and he does absolutely nothing to stop them. I don't think it's an outlandish claim to say that Gaara and Mei are easily regarded as the weakest of the 5 Kage.
What? Okay. Put some respect on Gaara's name. There was no you just say Gaara's one of the weakest out of the 5 Kage. No, absolutely not. He's definitely over Tsunade. Tsunade is useless. You just brought it up. Tsunade is useless. What has she done in the entire war? What did she do? Nothing. She cracked the ribcage. What else? She got cut in half. If it wasn't for Gaara, they would have been lost, though, in the entire war. Like, within, like, the first 20 minutes. His speech alone has done more than what Tsunade has ever done in the entire series. So, major cap.
Mei did the worst against the Wood Clone Susanoo, not only being knocked around by them, but also nearly getting killed if it wasn't for Gaara's intervention. But even he got overpowered by the Susanoo clones. Mei's two big strong points are her boil release and her lava release, with her water release being a potential asset against Kaido. But I haven't seen any feat that would demonstrate that she would be able to flood an entire battlefield, which even then wouldn't matter since Kaido could just fly in his dragon form or lift up a massive portion of the ground itself with his flame clouds. As for lava release, I don't think it would make much of a difference, even though it was shown to have the capability of melting through Susanoo. The Susanoo's durability is relative to its current stage, and I don't think it would have much of an effect on Kaido since he was shown to get submerged in magma after his battle with Luffy, and his body showed no signs of it being affected by the magma even while unconscious. So I don't think that there is any definitive proof that her lava style would even work. Not to mention, she would have a tough time landing it since she isn't exactly the fastest member of the Kage.
Another thing I was thinking about back in my head, like, so if they all 5 fought Kaido, it would be different from when they fought Madara, because Madara is like he was like a combat genius, right? Kaido, not so much. So he's not even that strategic either. So the 5 Kage, they got manhandled by Madara, not just because he's stronger, but like Madara, he knows how to throw hands. Kaido, not so much. It's more like a battle IQ thing, because Madara has one of the like the highest, one of the, not saying the most, but one of like extremely high battle IQs in like all anime. So I mean, if they can have like a good plan to stop him, then they definitely can. But
Gaara would prove more useful since he's shown multiple times that he can defend and provide footing for the other Kage
he's a great
with his
supporter.
sand. It could also provide a cushion for the Kage in case Kaido gets too close. However, I do wonder how Kaido's advanced armament haki would interact with the sand, considering it bypasses defenses and could potentially still land a blow on the Kage by blasting through the sand.
That's the weird, because you didn't verse equalize it. Okay, so here's one thing. You forgot to mention this part. You forgot to mention this part. Gaara's sand isn't normal sand. A lot of people like get this misconstrued. His sand is chakra. It's chakra sand. His mom's soul's in that sand. It's soul sand, right? He can manipulate other sand around him because of he was I almost said 10 tails. He was the 1 tails Jinchuriki, so that's why he can manipulate other sand as well. But I don't think it That's why you usually equalize stuff to make it like less complicated, but I don't know.
I have seen some calcs that put Tsunade's attacks at island level, but Kaido has been shown to tank attacks with similar if not higher AP. Tsunade and A just don't have the attack potency to break through Kaido's tough scales. In the anime, Kaido tanked a stronger version of the King Kong punch head-on without so much as a scratch. In a previous battle, Luffy was capable of destroying a large portion of the country of Dressrosa with just the impact alone of his opponent hitting the ground. Even if you could argue that at least Tsunade would be capable of hurting Kaido with her punches, she isn't remotely as fast as the Raikage to be capable of landing these punches with some level of consistency.
That's fair.
Even then, Kaido doesn't start taking sufficient damage from attacks unless they're coated in Conqueror's Haki or Advanced Armament Haki at the very least. Kaido does have a habit of tanking hits, which is actually a good thing for the Kage since they can capitalize on the fact that he won't try to block most of their attacks. However, whether or not they would be effective is up for debate. He also has been shown to dodge attacks that either would hurt him or potentially kill him. Given the scaling size for Onigashima, which has been calculated to be around 57 kilometers in diameter, they haven't demonstrated any kind of feat that would imply they would be capable of destroying Onigashima to the same extent that Luffy would have if he had landed the Bajirang gun without Momonosuke moving the island out of the way. A's speed, as I've mentioned previously, reaches at almost light speed while using his lightning armor. If he increases its output, he should be capable of moving at relativistic speeds. With Onoki on his back, they can combine either the lightweight boulder jutsu or the weighted boulder jutsu to even further increase his speed or striking power, although to an unquantifiable amount.
Yeah, so
I would like to add that it seems like even with the buff provided by Onoki, he isn't capable of hitting as hard as Tsunade, while she has her Strength of Hundreds jutsu active. Onoki also wouldn't be capable of using the lightweight boulder jutsu while on A's back and particle style at the same time, so he would have to land the attack directly on Kaido. Now you're probably wondering why I'm so certain that none of these combinations of jutsu and teamwork would have any considerable effect.
No, I'm not wondering. I mean, because most of your points, just about every single point you had was correct. I mean, they don't have the AP to damage Kaido. All they have is hacks. And that's literally it. Most characters in Naruto just have their hacks are just through the roof or insane. So, yeah.
The simple answer is that besides his insane durability, Kaido should be bare minimum faster than light, if not much faster, and he has access to Future Sight. Luffy, right out of the time skip, fought a Pacifista which shot beams of light that were designed off of Kizaru's Glimmer fruit. Not only does Luffy dodge them casually, but he calls these beams slow. He blitzes and one-shots the Pacifista before it can even shoot another beam. Even if one were to argue that only Luffy's reaction time is light speed and that he was using observation haki, the fact is that he thought they were slow enough to the point that he would verbally state it. Luffy later fights Doflamingo, who not only causes him trouble in base, but even while using Gear Second, which increases his movement speed and combat speed, he's just managing to keep up. Doflamingo blitzes Luffy multiple times, which means he has to be moving faster than light for his attacks to land on a Luffy who has his guard up. While in Gear 4th, Luffy could blitz Doflamingo mid-air from hundreds of meters away while flying towards him, and Doflamingo couldn't react whatsoever. Doflamingo states that the combination of Armament Haki and Tensile Force is raising Luffy's power several times. Several could mean 3 to 4 times.
I would say, just because he says several doesn't mean like it's a quantifiable amount. Yes, it means like it's stronger, but there is no real saying of how much stronger. Somebody else in my Discord, his name is Spedman, don't question it. He brought up how it was a 4-time multiplier because, oh my goodness. He said it was a 4-time multiplier because it said several. And that doesn't mean that it's necessarily 4 times. It could just be like how he worded it, how Doflamingo worded it. It's not like a guaranteed amount, but yeah.
In a later arc, Luffy received several amps throughout his battle with Katakuri, the most important of which was mastering Advanced Observation Haki or Future Sight. Before Luffy unlocked Future Sight, Katakuri, who also had it, was capable of seeing into the future and countered every single move Luffy attempted before he could act. He is so proficient in Future Sight that it had been years since someone had even laid a finger on him. Comparing this to Luffy's light speed reaction time from post time skip, that would mean that Katakuri is attacking Luffy at greater than relativistic speeds. Luffy needed to create a brand new transformation, Gear 4 Snake Man, which would amp his speed several times, like how Bounce Man increases his power several times, in combination with his recently mastered Future Sight in order to counter Katakuri's Future Sight and speed. Katakuri even goes as far as to say that he is still stronger and faster than Luffy's new form in the anime. All of the scaling is important because Kaido scales above every single one of these feats and everyone mentioned in them. His Future Sight is better than Katakuri's since he dodged Luffy's Gum Gum Hydra in dragon form, which is calculated to be around 1 to 2 kilometers long. He's so fast he could blitz Gear 5 Luffy multiple times. And when he hit a post-Udon training Luffy in base with his Thunder Bagua, Luffy outright says that he couldn't dodge it even with Future Sight. To give a better idea of how fast he is, Naruto in his 6-path Sage Mode cloak dodged Madara's Light Fang at a relatively close range, which is stated in a databook to cut all things at the speed of light. Naruto also had precognition due to his 6-path Sage Mode, however, Naruto in the manga seemed to be more surprised at the attack, even verbally stating "whoa" with some exclamation marks. And I don't think it would be—
Wait, what? I like spaced out for a second, I'm sorry.
Mode. However, Naruto in the manga seemed to be more surprised at the attack, even verbally stating "whoa" with some exclamation marks. And I don't think it would be outlandish to say that 6-path Sage Mode Naruto is faster and has better reaction time than the 5 Kage. True. Kaido got comboed by the worst generation, and they all hit him with attacks that could bypass his defense, and he seemed to be relatively fine. One of the attacks that I specifically wanted to go over is Law's Gamma Knife, which destroys the target's internal organs, and he immediately aimed it at Kaido's heart. When he used it against Doflamingo, Dofi repaired his organs with his Devil Fruit, whereas Kaido doesn't. He shows no signs of fatigue or discomfort from these attacks at any point later in the raid, so even though internal attacks are effective, they aren't an immediate solution. But the Kage don't really have anything even remotely close to that. They don't. Kaido also seems to have a habit of going for the head when he fights an opponent. He is seen multiple times trying to crush Luffy from above and even blitzes Luffy behind the head while he was fighting in Gear 5th. While he does long for a good fight, Kaido doesn't really seem to hold back when somebody pushes him to his hybrid form.
El Blanco, forgot your name again. Be careful when it comes to using clips, because I don't know about you, but Toei is always on my case. No matter what I do, I will get an email or whatever from Toei saying, "Hey, take that down," or a copyright strike or a claim, not strike. But yeah, I just want to give you a heads up.
All of this is to say that the Kage's win condition particle style is more than likely just not going to land. I can't imagine a scenario where Gaara and Tsunade can hold down Kaido long enough so that Onoki can catch him in a particle style jutsu. Especially since its size is relative to the amount of chakra he puts in, and Kaido is about 23 feet tall. I've tried to find any calculations that would put particle style at a relativistic speed, however, I just haven't found any, so most likely it just isn't fast enough. Ultimately, I don't think the Kage have many options here besides particle style. Tsunade healing the 5 Kage may also not be much of an option since Kaido doesn't really give his opponents many opportunities. Unless he's already being distracted by a stronger opponent, and I don't think 3 of them alone are going to be able to hold Kaido's attention long enough for him to not speed blitz and crush both Tsunade and whoever she's trying to heal. At the same time, because he goes for the head, it could be argued that if Kaido were to crush Tsunade's head, she may not get up afterwards since her Strength of Hundreds chakra pool is stored in her forehead. It could also be considered a severe wound. Tsunade is not much of a tank, she has great endurance, but her durability as a whole isn't anything too impressive. No matter how I look at this, the Kage only have one win condition with particle style, while Kaido is just too fast, too durable, and could easily kill most of them with a few blows to a vital spot. Not to mention he has Future Sight, so catching him off guard isn't too late. Maki also means that regardless of how tough they are on the outside, he can always guarantee internal damage, and ninja can't train their internal organs. But yeah, that was basically my take on this fight.
I think that's true. No, he said it was true. They can't. Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
I had a lot of fun recording it, and honestly, I would really appreciate if any of you could like and subscribe.
Yeah.
I'll definitely try to put.
For those who made it this far, for those who made it far in this video, I want you to click out, go down, subscribe, and like his video. That was really good. What I do want to say though is this is unfair. You know what you were doing. Listen. Ooh, I had like a little wisp there, or lips, whatever it's called. This was unfair from the get-go. All right, and as much bias I want to be, you know, it's not close. If you would have put now Boruto 5 Kage, new video idea, use the Boruto 5 Kage versus Kaido. Now that will actually be pretty close because those characters that actually, you know, keep up with Momoshiki. And he's really, really strong. So I mean, yeah, that's my suggestion for you. And have a successful and well YouTube journey. But anyways, if you guys made it this far in the video, let me guys know your thoughts and opinions on 5 Kage versus Kaido, because you know Kaido does slam them. So it's not even close. But yeah, I'm Malik, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.